Hello Sumit, you're welcome to this beautiful video. So we'll be learning how to make this crisscross top you see on my body. Now one thing you should notice is that it doesn't extend to the back, the shoulder line. It's just hanging on my neck. Do you get? Because of the design you saw at the thumbnail, is not having, like, it's not extending to the back. It doesn't have a shoulder that extended to the back, so it's just hanging on the neckline. Do you get? So now to get started, what you need is your basic bodice pattern. Now I've taken my shoulder width and my shoulder depth, which is 3 by 3. Do you get? So now you have to make sure that your paper is on fold. Make sure you draft it on fold the way you saw me do. You see, after spreading it, I have a full block, right? So make sure you draft your own on fold. So now you can see that you have to take your side dart and your waist dart. You see that the two darts, they are there, like I've taken them in this pattern. So the next thing we'll be doing now is to determine the neckline, how deep you want the neckline. Now, if I had gone down more than this in this video, you will see that the crisscross pass will drop more than it is. But again, if you're used to all my videos, I'm always saying I don't like exposing my armpits because I have this fat there. So you can see how I'm connecting it, right? So you just use your curve ruler and you can see that it is below the chest line with about 3/4 of an inch. So now from the midpoint now, I will determine where I am curving it to get the other shoulder line. Do you get? So you see how I'm placing my ruler. From the midpoint, you connect it straight to the shoulder part. You can make it wider than that. But me, I don't have enough fabric. So that's why you can see that the shoulder part is actually tiny. It is not big, right? So now you just determine the midpoint. Just rule a straight line to get the midpoint. Then after getting the midpoint, you just go ahead and cut it. So now, after cutting it like this, you can see that we've cut the other side. We'll also come to this side and we will cut. But first thing, you have to close your dart. So now we have to close the bust dart, which is the upper part. But I have to cut this other neckline, the upper neckline away first. This is the neckline. I have to cut it away. Then you go ahead and close the bust dart first. So now you can see how I'm slitting it. I will go ahead and tape it down with my paper tape. So after taping it this way, then the other part now, you will just go ahead and place it straight on your fabric and cut it as it is. So you can see me reconnecting it, then I'm cutting it away. I'm just making it straight. You know, once you've closed your side, that is not always equal. So the front pattern is done like that. This is the back pattern. I already have my back bodice pattern drafted out also. So you just go ahead and roll it across. You can decide to cut it straight. You are just determining the neckline of the back. So you go ahead and cut it. So after you see how I place my ruler to rule, you just rule it, but you can leave it straight. I really do not think the curve is necessary because I retrim on my fabric at the end of the day because it was too sharp, right? So now this is the front and the back pattern ready like this. So now the next thing you have to do now, you can see that the top is hanging on my shoulder. It didn't extend to the back and I didn't attach it to the back side. So I'll be showing us the video of the top itself. At the end of this video, you'll be seeing the back side also. So now, because it's hanging on my shoulder, I have to extend this part now. I have to extend it. You know this neckline area now that I'm taping to a new paper, it is just the front shoulder it ended. Now the part that will go around my neck is not added. So what you do, you just measure your back shoulder. Just measure it shoulder to shoulder at the back. Whatsoever it gives you, add it to it. Whatsoever it gives you, divide it to 2 and add it to it, because you know we're only working with half of the pattern, right? So now I will just go ahead and tape it down, and after taping it down, I extended the new fabric. The width actually doesn't really matter. It depends on you. It depends on the amount of fabric you have, like I said earlier. So now I'm just measuring the width to make sure that it is the same thing, like it is equal. One part is not bigger than the other. Then I extended it with about 4 inches. I extended it with about 4 inches, but it was too big for me. The 4 inches was too much. I'm supposed to use 6 inches, but I did 4 because I wanted to use 1 inch for sewing, but it was too much for me. So it depends according to your body size and this thing. That's how you will extend it. So I just extended the shoulder part, like the shoulder part. After extending it like this is what is going to go across your shoulder and cover the whole of your neckline. I mean, I extended the neckline part, so this is the part that will go across your shoulder. Now this is the fabric I'm using. Now I told you it's very small. I'll just go ahead and cut, and this is it. So I made it. I cut. The back pattern was cut on fold, and as you can see for the back, I added extra inches to it. Right now, you see the sharp edge at the back for the armhole side. I will cut it away because it's too sharp to me. So now the front, I cut two of it. Now the front is not going to be on fold for any reason, right? So I cut two of the front pattern. Then the back pattern, I made sure I cut it on fold. Now you can see that for the front now, the fabric is longer than the paper, right? Because it's half length I drafted for the paper. So I have to extend it so that it will not be too short according to the size of my fabric. So I told you that the back pattern now, the armhole side was too sharp. So this is me trimming it away. So you see the curve I did at the beginning, trying to create that curve on the paper. It wasn't really necessary. You can just cut it straight, right? So now this is the back part, open up, and this is the front part that I'm spreading on it like this. So you can see how neatly done it is already turning out. So what you're going to be doing now, you place it on top each other like this, right? So now can you see what I did there? So let's go right into the sewing part. So now the front pattern, now bring them together and sew it. You see the center front, just run it. But if you want it to give you this looseness, like you don't want the crisscross part to go up very well, don't run your stitches straight to the top. Just stop somewhere, anywhere. It depends on how low you want it, where you want the crisscross to start from. Do you get? But I sewed mine upwards. I took it up, so you can see me arranging the fabric like this. So now I will go ahead and join the center front together. I'll go ahead and join the center front together. So this is me placing the both fronts of the fabric together. Then I'll go ahead and run a straight stitch on my sewing machine and come back. So I took it up a bit, but like I said, if you want the crisscross to not go up like that, you can see my own, because I took it up, so that's where it started from. If you should take it down, if you take it lower, it's going to start from a lower part also. So now you can see where I stopped, and I went ahead to tighten it with my machine. So the next thing we'll be doing now, how do we get a clean edge done? So I went ahead to my ironing table and I brought the front pattern. So first thing now is to iron it, but I will be ironing it with hairstay. So the fabric is not big enough, right? And I don't even advise you to use the facing. I don't think facing will be nice for this style. But if the fabric was big enough, I would have folded it twice before ironing it down. But my fabric is not much, so you can see how I'm folding it and I'm ironing it. Make sure there is water in your iron. If you don't have water iron, that you can put water inside, just sprinkle water on the fabric before you iron it. So that's how I did it. I've gone ahead to iron it all around, even the armhole part, the center front also. I've gone ahead to press it down. You can see how neatly the outside is looking. So after doing that, now the next thing we'll be doing now is the back pattern. So like this now, the front is almost ready but not fully ready, right? So now this is the back pattern with us. So what you have to do now is to fold the back pattern, the upper part of the back. Now I'll go ahead and fold it, but make sure you're folding your own into two. So after folding it, this is my elastic, right? So I'll just go ahead and pass the elastic through it. Please, that's why I added extra inches to the paper when I was cutting, because if you make this thing too fitted, it means you'll be needing a zip out, because only that part that will pass through your neckline is not enough space for it to fit into your body. It also still depends on your size. Do you get? So this is me passing the elastic through it. I'll just go ahead and pass the elastic, then hold it down on both sides before going ahead to join the front and back together. So you can see how I'm still pulling it. Please, if you're still watching this video and you find it helpful at this point, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to comment, so that on your notification bell, so when I post more video you will see. So this is what the back pattern looks like. You can see how nice it is. I'll go ahead and join the both sides together. So after joining the both sides together, this is what we have. So the next thing I'll be doing now is the shoulder part, the neckline. You know we've not joined that neckline, and that side is still there. We've not joined it together. So I will just go ahead now. You put it across like this, then you bring it together. You just run a straight stitch like with an 1/2 inch. Then the lower part now, you go ahead and hem it. You fold it into two and hem it. So this is what the back looks like. So this is the back pattern on ground. You can see it. I could not show us the back when I put it on because my phone was just hanging on something and I didn't want it to fall down. I was trying to protect the phone. So this is it on ground. This is what the back looks like. You can see it. So it didn't extend to the back bodies. Hope you can see it. So now this is the front on ground. Hope this video was helpful. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you find it helpful. Thank you.